Welcome to a special episode of Fresh Off the Jet. I say it's special because I'm actually interviewing myself and my husband, who is joining me after we have just came off of a wonderful cruise, and we're gonna dive in. It was the Celebrity Silhouette.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, we'll get into it, but I'll just say, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that for right now.
Totally taken off guard, totally. I'm a carnival girl. Love the party, love all of just the thrills of carnival that comes with it. And when I got on the Celebrity for another project that I was doing, I was like, okay, I'm not going to have all the fun. I'm not going to have this. I was already...
You're talking yourself out of it.
Celebrities for probably old people. So I was just kind of not ready for what actually happened. So let's dive into some stuff so you guys can get acquainted to what time that we had on this amazing ship. So I'm going to ask a question first, and we'll just kind of bounce around. Mm-hmm. But what was your first impression walking onto the Celebrity Silhouette?
Well, so for me, I'm always looking at I would say the way things are handled, the logistics, if you want to call it that. And before you even get on a boat, just the way everybody's on the same page. I mean, all the Celebrity team, from the time we got out of an Uber, we gave them our luggage. Everybody from there all the way till we got off the boat, everybody was in sync. I've never seen that. Ever. I don't think I've ever seen that.
And you've been on a carnival cruise.
Yeah, I've been on cruises. I mean, we've been on cruises. I mean, just anywhere in life.
Right.
Even whether it's an event, a basketball game, anything like that.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've seen where everybody's in sync.
Everybody seemed to know their position, know their lane, and perfected it. There was no confusion.
Yeah. The confusion was us. We were confused, not the people.
Right.
And so that was my first impression was wow. Okay, everybody, they're here. They're here to work.
Yeah.
They're happy to be at work.
Yeah.
And they're happy to see us, and everything from the time we got on the boat, everything was pretty much 100% smooth.
And I'm gonna answer this. The first impression was like, this is your yacht, and a few people came to join you guys. That's the way it felt. Like, ma'am, where are you doing with that luggage in your hand? I got this. Everything was just handed to you, that royalty treatment. Yeah. And even to the point, and I'll get to that later, but not having lanyards around your neck, that was like a big thing, for me, because I was used to having that hanging around your neck all the time. And they were like, what are you doing? Like, pretty much, you never need this again. We just need this for when you get off the boat and come back. But this is your yacht.
Yeah, now open your door. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, and you could ask me the next one.
All right. So, yes, I'm going to interview you. Mm-hmm. So, here's the question is, which spot on the ship became your favorite hangout and why?
I think let's talk about that, because this ship is hard to pinpoint your favorite spot outside the eatery, because I like to eat. So my favorite spot was everywhere there was food. But honestly, I would say the top part where the party was, the sky bar.
Yeah, you had the most fun. Yeah.
The sky bar.
That would be your favorite place.
That was amazing because it was open. You can look up and you can see the sky, and you knew you were at the top of the ship. So it was and it was beautifully decorated. The plush carpet, I cannot stop talking about that.
Yeah.
It wasn't outside, what they call multi-purpose industrial carpet.
That rough stuff, yeah.
It was actually the carpet at your great-grandmother's house or your grandmother's house that sinks in when you push your foot
that
down.
She said you can't walk on.
That you can't walk on.
You can't go in that room.
It was that carpet everywhere. And then, what about you? Your favorite hangout?
For me, honestly, it was the balcony.
I know.
The balcony.
Yeah.
I mean, this is our first time doing a balcony suite. And just to be able to, just to wake up. And you keep the curtains open and you just wake up. And when you went to sleep, it was water. You can hear it. You hear the waves crashing. And then when you wake up and now the sun's rising, and you just see the blue ocean. But now the sun is rising. It's just.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is something you can get used to.
I know.
Or not.
And they call it the veranda. So if you are looking up this cruise, they call it the veranda, which is the balcony, and a lot of space.
Oh yeah.
And I would just add a little secret. I would crack the door at night so we can hear the waves all night. So that helped us sleep the whole night. And it just kept everything fresh.
Yeah.
So for someone booking this cruise, which cabin location would you recommend?
You skipped it. Okay, I'm gonna let you run it. Okay, my bad. Go ahead. So ask again.
No, for I guess we already answered that. What surprised you most about the ship compared to the others?
Yeah,
for
right.
someone booking the cruise, which cabin location would you recommend?
I would recommend Well, there was first I would recommend what we went in, which was the veranda.
It was 9228.
Oh, the actual number. I forgot.
A lot of people share that.
Okay,
it's weird, but
so
we were in cabin 9228 on the Celebrity Silhouette. If you can get that cabin, get it. There's no obstruction of view when you walk out on the balcony.
So that was a good one. But the one I really, really, really would want was, I think it was the back of the boat.
Yes, the aft.
I'm looking up. That's what they call it, aft.
The aft.
Or on the aft. Yes, I'm still learning my boat navigator language.
Those are your extra large suites.
Yeah.
And so you pay a little bit more, but you have so much space. Your veranda kind of wraps around, or it's half of the back of the ship. And if you know how huge these ships are, that's a huge balcony.
Yeah, and because I know a couple of times when we were eating, we, instead of eating inside the eating area where everyone was at, we would go out to the back, to the aft.
To the aft.
And go outside and eat. And the view was lovely. But then we were sitting on the edge one time by the railing, and we was able to look over and say, oh, wait a minute. That's somebody's veranda. That's their balcony.
Yeah.
Whoa, they see this all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's, and then when we were coming onto the ship, when we were coming from like Nassau, we were walking towards the ship, I was able to actually see the suites, and you were breaking down how large they are and how they're corner units and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, that would be the next step up.
Yeah,
I would think.
if you got it, do it. You know, it definitely is worth it. And I think it's your turn.
So let me start over. What's one thing you were glad we packed?
I'm glad I packed like 100 outfits. I can finally say that for once, because every single time I stepped out my cabin, I was looking the bomb. You know, I was like, hey, where you going, girl?
She was looking nice, people. She was looking nice.
Every single time. Even twice a day. I was able to change my wardrobe like twice a day, what I wore. And so I'm glad I packed that. Now, what are you glad you packed?
Let me think on that one.
And that's rare, because most of the time you say, oh, I packed too much. No. If you want to know, for 5 days, I had 2 outfits for each day, plus your swimsuits, your underwear, you know, all the other little fun stuff, jewelry, makeup, and I was fine. Yeah, it was a heavy bag, you know, because the carpet was so thick on there, it would just sink down into the carpet when we were lugging it around, because we decided to bring our own luggage out so we didn't have to wait. But now we know, let them take your luggage off the boat as well. Go ahead and let them do it.
I mean, packing, it was pretty standard for me. I'm trying to think if there's something that we had that just really came in handy.
Our swim shoes.
It was something. Yeah, the swim
it's something
shoes
we wish we would have packed, which was
What's
the wrinkle release.
Oh, yeah, I wish. Yes, I wish. But the question was one thing. Okay. Yes, I really wish we would. I wish we were able to bring a steamer on there.
Right.
Because I thought that's what they said. So if you don't know, no steamers, no irons on the board.
Yeah, no
on the boats. They say it's a safety hazard, a fire hazard, and so I was looking forward to. I figured there wasn't gonna be the iron, but I thought a steamer. I thought there was gonna be a steamer in all the rooms, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so I wish I had packed the wrinkle
release
spray? Yeah, wrinkle release. Well, how do you say it? What's
wrinkle release spray?
The wrinkle release spray. Yeah, they got the spray where you can just spray it on your clothes.
And it get the wrinkles
let it sit
out
for about 5-10 minutes. It dries and the wrinkles fall out.
And we would have had it on the balcony so it could dry faster.
Oh man, yep.
That would have been perfect.
For a couple of minutes, you would see some clothes out there hanging like a clothes hanger or something.
And don't pack
like
your robe. They give you 2 nice plush robes that we never got to wear.
We didn't even use them. Yeah.
So don't worry about bringing your robe. Which onboard activity exceeded your expectation?
Onboard activity, man, the food. I think we're gonna get into that later, are we?
I don't know, but you can answer it now. We always skip it.
So on Carnival, my experiences from the Carnival cruise. So with Carnival, I think I picked I would have to actually say the food. I mean, I know it's not necessarily an onboard activity per se, but it was. We were very active doing it. So my background is, my experience is from a Carnival cruise, and so on a Carnival cruise, the food is good. It's good.
Yeah.
But then there was like maybe one or two specialties I would like, and I would eat that every single day. I think it was the salmon. They had the smoked salmon on a bagel with a cream cheese. I would eat that all the time. It was just that, for me, that was the one good thing.
Yeah, and they stopped selling that.
And then I heard they stopped it.
Mm-hmm.
On here, I mean, it was pretty much anything you picked up was probably going to be good.
Yes.
For us, we don't eat pork, so as long as it didn't have pork in it,
we were good.
We were probably good to go. And that was surprising to me. So I would actually say, strangely, the food was my favorite onboard activity.
And when he says the food, guys, we're talking about the food that's in the buffet area. The food that everybody try to pass up and go to a specialty restaurant. You don't really need a specialty restaurant on this ship. Sorry, specialty restaurants. Honestly, you can save your money and eat in the buffet area. Although, that night,
that's what I was about to get into.
When you go to your special dining area, which is included in your rate, you do not have to pay extra. It's called special dining. It's so elegant, y'all. If you've ever been to like Rhodesia, no, it's called Capitol Grill. If you've ever been to like some of those fancy restaurants, the wine and steak restaurants in your city, the dark, the lighting, the beautiful tablecloths, and their actual cloths, very thick and plush. And my favorite part is the menu, where it's heavy. It's like a real fancy restaurant menu.
She wants the whole experience. Y'all.
Yes. And it has all your like lamb, salmon, like all your fancy dishes. I didn't see lobster this round, but that was probably going to be in the specialty restaurants. And I have a rule: I don't do specialty restaurants on cruises. And that might be something I'll break later.
Yeah, she'll break it.
Like I never do balconies, and I end up breaking that. Mm-hmm. And now I did a balcony. So basically, that's what my favorite part was, the time and effort that they put into the ambience and the food. Because I'm a secret foodie. I just realized that.
Yeah, she likes to eat.
I love to eat. Yeah. And when I know the food is really good and delicious. So I feel like I'm missing out if I don't go and see everything.
And it was fun. One night we just went. We weren't even really hungry, but we went. We said we're going to get dessert.
Yeah.
And that was funny because it's like, it's funny because you remember, the people on the workers on the staff, they're actually from all different parts of the country,
right.
Of the world. Mm-hmm. And so it's one thing to, whenever we're doing something that's out of the norm, it's always that language barrier.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's actually kind of fun because we have to explain to them what we're doing, what we're saying.
Right.
And so when when they hand us the menu and we order dessert, there's like, oh, no entree. We're like, nah, we're good. We're going to skip on that.
And they didn't.
Now he's confused because he's like, "What do you mean skip on?
Skip
Skip
on the
food?
What
does that mean?" So I had to say, "Oh no, we're going to just do dessert tonight.
Yes,
no food."
So keep your English very non-slang when you're on these ships, because you're talking to people from all over the world. You don't want to confuse them. So just stick to basic English that we learned in school that we can remember. But
I think we end up still ordering food. Huh?
Yeah, so that's the whole point. The food is so delicious, y'all. I went in there just to do dessert. And once I ate the dessert and saw someone that he pulled out a plate to another table, he brought it out to another table. I was like, I think I would like to order my dinner now. And they just cracked up laughing. Like, now she wants dinner. So just know that was our favorite part about the ship or the activity.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm an entertainer at heart, and this is where I get into the fun part. So it was not boring at all. Okay, it was not what I thought.
She was secretly dreading it. I could tell. She was like, okay. She kept talking herself into it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any parties. It's not going to be any music. We're just going to go and relax, I guess, and we'll get to the beach.
Right.
It's like what you sold yourself on.
Yeah, I totally took months and months and months of reprogramming my brain. This is not Carnival. It's old people. You're not going to have fun. You're just going to relax with your husband who you love so dearly. So basically, and do some work, because we had a lot of work to do. But other than that, I was shocked that the first night we got on the boat, I ran into this party. Literally. We were just walking around the boat talking. This is the first night on the ship. And it was a party going on, and
Yeah,
then
it was right after dinner.
It was right after dinner, and so I was like, okay, what's going on? I'm looking over the balcony into the atrium area, and I see these elevators going up and down, and the commentator, the host, she goes, now you got to get on these elevators and show me what you got. And I'm like, you want them to get on the elevator and show them what they got? And the music is going, it's thousands of people or hundreds of people out there dancing. And I looked at my husband. She asked me to get in the elevator and dance like she was talking just to me. Mm-hmm. And of course, I get in the elevator, y'all. And you know me, if you know me and you're listening to this, I danced for probably a good 45 minutes in that elevator. And people were coming into my elevator. They wanted to get in my elevator and dance with me. And I got bored, and not bored, but I got tired. And then I was like, well, let's just go back and let's go do something else. And this guy goes, you can't go anywhere. You're probably going to win this. And I'm like, win what? It was a whole contest going on, y'all. Dancing in the elevator. So long story short, I won.
Yeah, she won. She was one of the 3 winners.
We'll put the video up
Matter of
later.
fact, they called you off the elevator.
They sure did.
You was still on the elevator. Like, she said, ma'am, get off the elevator. We need you down here right now. Yeah.
So that was an expectation that it exceeded what I thought it would definitely be. I thought it was going to be boring, and that was just one night.
That was the first night.
Yeah, that was the first night, and this kept going and escalating, getting better and better every night. So, what was your tip to getting the most value out of the cruise?
I would say definitely just kind of knowing. I like the app. The app that they had.
App was cool.
Because with the app, you was able to really look and see what's
going
on today, tomorrow. If you didn't know what you wanted to do, you can look and just kind of peruse and see in the next hour or two what was happening. That's if it was something you wanted to get into. Yeah. And I think one night we found the movie, that For Real movie.
So cool.
I mean, I wasn't expecting. It was like, we love watching movies. It was like, let's go watch a movie. Let's do it.
That was so cool.
And that turned out to be a good movie. Real fun movie. What was it? Dang, I forgot the name. Piece by piece. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good documentary.
It's very unexpected documentary because I don't like documentaries, and so it did not come off as a documentary. Actually, y'all, theater was like our own personal theater.
Yeah,
it felt like we were in our mansion, and the mansion that we will have one day, hopefully. But anyway,
and we said. Movie.
We said, we're going to watch a movie. And it was only one other lady and her mom in there. And the mom ended up leaving. And it was just us and another lady. But you didn't even know she was in there. But we had such a good time. And the space is so... It didn't make me... It just made me feel like I was at home.
Yeah, you forget you on the ship.
Yeah.
You forget you on a big body of water. And there's nothing else around you.
In the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And the movie was good. And I got to cuddle with my buddy. And... It was just so romantic, I think. Because I would say, who goes on a cruise to watch a movie? But it was like, no, you're in the middle of the ocean in your own, almost like theater. Because there wasn't a lot of people in there. It was like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I wasn't forced to go back to my cabin. That was another thought.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be old people. They want us to go back to our cabin.
They're going to shut down at 8 o'clock. Like, no.
No. So
keep the party going.
And that was funny. We'll probably get to it later, but that's probably what we're going to answer for that. The silent, the disco.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah.
Your turn.
So where we at?
Oh, I have to answer. What's my tip to getting the most value out of the cruise?
Yeah. So what's your tip for getting the most value out of the cruise?
Don't spend money outside of what you. I always make it a contest when I book a cruise. Like, can I actually just book this cruise and not spend anything else and still have a good time?
Yeah, you challenge yourself.
Yeah, I challenge myself. And I think we did it really well. We normally don't do excursions. So this time we did. We just got like a little Jeep to ride around.
Yeah.
But I do try to beat this every single time I take a cruise. It's like trying not to just maximize the basics.
What comes with it.
What comes with it. And this ship, you can do that. The Celebrity Silhouette, you can absolutely pay for that ship, and that's it. You don't have to pull out your wallet anymore if you don't want to. And we're still talking about the ship. We haven't even talked about the ports.
Yeah.
What was your favorite moment from the ship, from the trip?
Oh, my favorite moment had to been, I would definitely say Bimini.
I was going to say that.
But I'm not going to get into all the details. I'll just say Bimini, and then you can pick up on it. But Definitely Bimini, just because, for so many reasons. The island, the water, everything's beautiful. The people. The people are amazing. But then I would say, but I'll let you have Bimini. For me, my two most favorite moments was when we was in Nassau. We're on the beach, and those two young children came up.
Boys,
Two
yeah,
young boys
9
came
and
up.
10,
Or
or
9, 10.
8 and 9.
Yeah, they're like 8 and 9. They're brothers, and
We're gonna have to stop again.
no, it's
Oh, okay.
And they were brothers, and of course, they see all the tourists out there. They're out there making money. They're selling these little bracelets, and they told us what, they had a special. They were like, hey, you can get this one bracelet for, I think it was like one bracelet for $10, two for 15 or something like that. I forget what it was. And so we was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do two. Well, it was like 2 for 20 or something.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we'll do two. We gave them the $20, and then we started talking with them because they just sat down next to us and was talking.
They were real comfortable.
Yeah, they was real comfortable. And while we're talking, the older brother, he's working too. He's hustling now.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're not gonna buy anything for my brother?
That's so sweet.
And I look, and so part of me was like, oh man, you got your sales pitch down. But then on the other part, I'm like, no, he's thinking about his brother too.
That's right.
I'm thinking, if I buy from one, I buy from both. And he's like, no, I sold that.
Mm-hmm.
He don't make any money.
Yeah.
So then that's when we talked to him about it, and we bought some from his brother. And to me, that just hit me like, man, that's humanity. That's the way we all supposed to naturally think.
Yeah.
Is think about the other person.
Think about the other person.
And then he one-upped it.
Yeah.
He one-upped it. He got a sales pitch down pat. He's like, well, we don't get any tips.
Yeah.
And I say, tips. And so he explained to me, hey, when I sell these bracelets, we get some money from it, but I'm trying to raise money for my birthday cake.
Yeah.
He said he want cake and pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And he's like, so the tips, they keep the tips. And I said, okay, well, let's do this then. So I renegotiated a deal with him. I said, hey, let's do this. I'm going to buy one bracelet from you, and I'm going to buy one bracelet from you, and then I'm going to give y'all a $10 tip. And with that, when I worked it out, they actually get more money.
Yeah.
And one thing that was amazing to me was I honestly know if I explained that to most adults, they will have doubts. They will have questions. They'll be confused. Mm-hmm. He got it right off the bat. He did the math. He said, oh, okay, I walk away with $7, not $5 or whatever.
Right.
And my brother walks away with $7.
Yep.
Deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then they still sat there. They sat there with us about 30 minutes to talk.
And I said, why are you not in school? Because in the Bahamas, we learned in Nassau, they pay for education all the way up until after middle school. Then high school, they have to pay. Mm-hmm. So the people have to pay for their own education for high school and up. And I said, you supposed to be in elementary. Why are you not in school? And he looked and he said, I'm sick. And my husband said,
I said, you sick? He said, yeah, I got the flu. I said, man, you don't look like you got the flu. He said, he put this little fake cough on right then and there. Oh, boy, we bust our laugh.
So that was just such a treat to just be with the locals and talk with them.
And the similar moment was later on when we were leaving. We opt to give tips to the staff directly. Mm-hmm. They'll take the money out your account if you let them, but we always opt to say no. Take all that off of our room, mm-hmm. off of our account. We'll pay the staff ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so they have this one section where they make pizzas up pretty much throughout the whole night. Mm-hmm. And we saw them pretty much every night. Hey, it's the same people serving the pizzas.
Yeah,
they're
without
very
them,
nice.
I would
They're very
be hungry.
courteous. And so on the last night, I gave them some money. I gave them a tip. Well, I gave them to the person that served us. I said, hey, brother, I appreciate you so much. Here's a tip. And he did the exact same thing those two boys did.
Yeah.
Immediately, he said, thank you very much. And then he went to the cooks that was right behind us that we never paid attention to. He said, hey, guys, look what we got.
I was just like floored.
And that hit me. I said, whoa. Like, in America, that's been something that's been lost.
Yeah,
and that's just that care for humanity, for your brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And, they have it. And I was just like,
because he could have easily just tucked that in his pocket and kept working.
Yeah, and went along
and he turned around and said, look, y'all, without a second, y'all, he was like, look, y'all, look what we got.
Yeah, so those are my favorite moments, believe it or not, yeah.
And my favorite moments was those, of course, and being able to hang out with other nationalities mm-hmm. and see that there was no hate, there was no this stuff we see on the news and the stuff that we see all the time, this negativity. It was none of that. We all danced together. We hung out in the jacuzzi together and talked for about an hour about religion, politics, and no one argued. No one There was no argument.
Yeah. Just
And
peace.
so I think it was just a peaceful, total, whole experience. And that was my favorite part. Just being able to be with so many different nationalities and see that we all have something in common.
Yep.
You know, which was that cruise at the moment. Most romantic spot. And I already know what you're going to say.
Well, you go first then.
The most romantic spot, I believe, is this spot where it's dark. It's solely dark. And if a light, you know, you barely see any light, but you can see the stars. You can see the ocean, the moon hitting the water at a certain thing. And it's always going to be on your corner, the corner of the ship, like the furthest left or right corner.
Yeah.
For some reason. Even we did this on Carnival.
Yeah. It's a fascinating thing where it'll just be pitch black. You'll look out over the ocean and you can't see the end of the ocean, and you can't see where the ocean ends and the sky begins.
Yeah.
It's just pitch black, and then you look up and you start seeing stars. And it just, to me, it's amazing. It's fascinating. It's breathtaking. And for us to just be able to go out there, that only happened once. Is somehow the way when we was on the Carnival cruise, where the boat was positioned a certain way and the moon
And
was
dark,
it was like a perfect alignment where I was able to get that moment. And so I've been wanting that feeling again, and to be able to experience this pretty much almost every night.
Yeah.
On that boat. It was romantic. I was looking for excuses to say, hey babe, come on over here, let's go, let's walk. She already knew where I was walking her to.
I want to say the night that we like actually stayed in our room and the bed, like the guys, like listen, the rooms are like a master bedroom.
Yeah.
And the plushest, most mattress that you can ever find. And I'm gonna tell you what the name of the mattress is. It's cashmere mattresses. They're very expensive, $5,000 and up, but they're so worth it. That's the beds that they put on the Celebrity Silhouette, the mattresses. And we were able to sit and watch movies, which was another rule I broke. But we watched a movie because the screen will come to almost to your bed.
Yeah.
It's like a 50 or 60 inch or whatever, and you can pull it off the wall.
And angle it right towards
you. And angle it right towards your bed. So we ordered room service, got us some food.
Yeah, that was a cool night.
And watched like 2 movies.
Yeah.
So that was really, really, I think that was romantic. That was really cool. Funniest.
That's our pastime for y'all that don't know. Us watching movies.
Yeah,
that's our
we're
pastime.
filmmakers, so that's what happens. Funniest thing that happened. And that's the
funniest thing.
And we met a really sweet couple too.
I don't know. Funniest?
I say us walking around the ship, because every night we always say, let's go walk, let's take a walk, and we end up walking back toward the atrium, and we kept hearing these weird like footsteps and stomping.
Yeah.
And we were like, what's going on? It was just stomping, and then you'll hear like a screeching on the floor, like like basketball sneakers.
Yeah, like a basketball game going on in the middle of the.
And so it was like 11 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and we see about 200 people with these little headphones on.
Yeah, those little glowing headphones.
And they were doing the silent disco. And when I tell you,
they were doing the cha-cha slide. That's what they were doing. But you don't hear no music, so you just hear the footsteps, and every once in a while you hear somebody go woo or something like that. It's like. And we figured it was probably if you could hear the music and everybody's dancing.
Right.
But on the outside looking in, we was just like, oh, wow, that's hilarious.
That was so funny to me. And as a travel agent, I know most resorts have the silent disco. And I think one of my clients enjoyed it. But just to see it from the outside looking in, that was what was funny.
They even had the DJ, the host. He had a mic. But we can hear him talking, but we couldn't hear him through the mic.
Right.
So it was, yeah. That was strange.
Best people watching moment.
The silent disco.
The silent disco. And you know what? I take it back because I haven't gotten to the real meat. Entertainment night was really fun because we got to see like the karaoke night. People are all over the world on these ships. So you got people from Canada, India, Europe, Russia, Germany. Like you just got people from everywhere. So these guys get up and they start singing in another language. And so to be polite, you're into it, but then you just like, you know what? Let me show this support. I don't know what he's singing about, but we going to be into this. And so we all just jumps up and cheer when he finishes because he's singing in a whole nother language. So I think that was like my favorite thing, watching people enjoy other people's culture and what they're used to.
Yeah. So,
but you answered that one. Which port day was your favorite and why?
Mine was Bimini. Bimini was my favorite port day. We've been to Nassau before.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Nassau, but Bimini was my favorite. First, because of the water.
I know.
And you called it. You was like, "Yes, this some water you ain't never seen."
Yeah, it's like a swimming pool.
Yeah, and so just to walk up there and it's a deep blue, clear water, and then the further you walk down the port towards the actual island, it just starts turning more and more this
swimming pool water,
turquoise, indigo kind of, emerald almost. Well, not emerald, but it was amazing. Then we start seeing the fish and all this stuff. You thought it was a swordfish. I was like, no, swordfish don't look like these,
right?
But just that whole experience. And then when we were actually able to, we got one of those golf carts and just rode through the island.
The island is about 7 miles long total, and you can walk it if you want. If you're a walker, we do about 4 miles or 3.5 a day, just on regular. So if you really wanted to walk it, you could. But the golf cart was really good to have.
Oh yeah, and everybody riding around either in a golf cart, a little moped, a little scooter, and every once in a while you'll see a car.
Yeah. And it looks out like it sticks out as a sore thumb because it's like, what you doing on here with this car? So the right side of the Bimini Island is the hood, the what you want.
The people.
It's the people.
It's the people that live there that was always there.
Yeah.
They're there. That's what we spent. When we got to tell it how it was. When we first got there, we went to go get the golf cart. The brother that was selling the golf cart or that was renting them out said, "Hey, you don't want to go to your right.
Right.
That's for the people that's here at the resort. You want to go to the left." And we was like, "Yeah, that's where we plan on going. Cool, And so we spent majority of the day on that side, going back and forth, going all around. And then it wasn't until right before we were leaving.
Then we went to the left because it was the left side.
Oh, the left side.
Yeah. So the left side is where the resort is, where they kind of want everybody from the ship to go to, because that's the resort side, with the pool and the beach and all of that, which is included in your. You don't have to pay to go there.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You go to the right side and you see how the people live there. There's no street lights. It's road, buildings. Everybody's living a simple life, right? And then if you were to make that left, this is where now the roads are paved.
Yeah, street lights.
The Hilton and the casino are paying for all there's a casino there too. So they're paying for all the roads to be paved smoothly, and the lights, street lights, and palm trees and all the stuff. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, we drove through it. We even drove through it to see what was going on, and we were very glad we went
to the right.
side. Because even though everything's all polished and stuff like that, it's dry, it's boring.
And we see it all the time. We're inundated with the perfect of what vacation should look like instead of really getting into the hometown of where you are.
It felt like we were back in America.
Yeah.
We're a beach.
Right.
And it's like, that's not what we came for. No. We came for
this
island.
The island.
Yeah.
And so we learned so much about Bimini, where Martin Luther King supposedly would write his speeches. He would go there to write his speeches, and it's only 50 miles from Miami. So you can get there really quick. So people do day trips there from Miami on the ferries. And then their port is so small and itty bitty. It's so cute. It's like
one ship. Yeah,
it's like,
but they got their whole game down pat. Yeah. We walked in and they had the tram waiting for us. They had security, they had everything. Yeah.
I want to actually go back and stay in Bimini and just rent one of the cottages on the plush side, and then spend all our time on the right. Yeah. So what's we're probably gonna break this up as a 2-part. What's one excursion that was totally worth it? And we just talked about that, which was the cart. Just getting a lowly little
golf cart.
Cart. I think it was about $90.
Yeah. I mean, when you walk up, they're gonna be talking about 120, 150.
Keep walking,
keep talking, and eventually you're gonna get somebody that's it. Because this is the same golf cart. No matter who you talk to, they're going to point to the nearest golf cart.
Yeah.
So
same company.
Yeah, same company. They all come from one place. Just a bunch of guys out there selling them.
Yeah. And so this one guy, we finally made it to where he was like, Okay, I'll do it for 90.
And we was like,
And
cool.
we was like, cool. And another thing, when you drop it back off, there's no paperwork. You're not doing no major stuff. He was just like, just park it right here. Like, where else is going to go?
That's why I asked him. I said, what time we need to have it back? He said, well, what time you leave? I said, we leave about 3, 4 o'clock. He said, well, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, where, do I call you? Do I bring? He said, no, just leave the keys.
Yeah. He was just like, just put it right here and leave the keys. Like, no one's stealing anything on a 7-mile island.
Yeah.
So,
it's not a car rental.
it's not a car rental. Get out of here, U.S. man.
Yeah.
But which port day was your the conch. We can't, the food in Bimini was so good, y'all. I will say conch is not filling. It's almost like eating crabs. So
the place was called
Smitty's. That's what it's called. Go to Smitty's when you get to Bimini. It's to the right, and it's a beautiful restaurant off the water. And go there. They have conch.
They got the dollar bills all over the wall. That's how you know you're in the right place.
Yes, real dollar bills hanging everywhere.
People have their dollar bills. They'll eat there and they'll tack their dollar bill and write their name on it or something like that.
Yes, so we
we
had the conch hamburger. The fritters were the best because they were like good hush puppies with conch in it.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was real good.
And they had some kind of sauce. I don't remember what it was, but the sauce was good.
That sauce was. Asked them for the orange sauce, and everything was just so fun and delicious. We talked about that. Tell me about the local spot you discovered. That's what we just did. How did you balance relaxation with trying all the activities?
No, I got to back up though. The local spot was the beach.
The local spot was the beach.
It was cool. Once again, you have this golf cart, and if you play video games, it reminds me like a Grand Theft Auto or something, an open world game where you can just drive and you just park your car anywhere and get out, go do whatever you want to do for the mission and then get back. That's literally how it was. We had this golf cart, we could park it anywhere as long as it wasn't in the middle of the street. We park it, we pulled over. We saw, hey, maybe we want to stop here at the beach, and we just pulled over, got out. Nah, we want to move further on. We just got back in and rode, and we were just free to roam. It was neat.
I got a picture of Jesse moving it with his hands.
Moving it.
The golf cart. Remember you had to pull it?
Oh, I had to pull it, yeah.
It wasn't broken. We just wanted to move it a little bit back onto the side of the road. We met a wonderful lady walking her dog.
Oh, yeah.
And she said she does it every day. And we wouldn't guess her age. She looks so young.
And I had to ask her because we were sitting at the beach and I'm still mesmerized. We're still mesmerized. I say, does this get old? And she said, never.
Never.
She said, it doesn't. I said, okay, good. I was just concerned, like maybe, because maybe once you live somewhere,
with it, yeah.
you get used to it, you get accustomed to it, and it doesn't have that same magic.
And she said,
she's like, no, it never.
Her skin was so clear, y'all. She was glowing, and she was telling me something about how she retired over 30 years ago or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, wait a minute. If you retired 30 years ago, how old are you really? And then I kind of asked that, and she kind of said, oh, you wouldn't even guess.
And walked off.
And I'm telling y'all, she looked 60 years old. She looked 50, maybe 50-something, 60. That's her skin. Like, the island life is where I need to be. That's all I learned. Okay? How did you balance relaxation with trying all the activities?
I think we balanced it well. I wasn't tired.
No.
I wasn't never really tired. I think it was one point where we planned on going somewhere. I forgot what it was.
When I won that thing. Remember I won the tour, which I wish I would have taken, where I could have toured.
Yeah, so she did all the elevator dancing, y'all. She killed it. Won a private tour, and then what happened? We missed it.
We were tired.
Yeah, we were tired.
It was like our anniversary day, and I said, I don't want to do anything scheduled on my anniversary day because it was a boat day where you don't get off the ship. And that's when we got up later. He was like, oh, you forgot about your prize. You got to go do this tour. And I'm like, and I wish I would have done it, y'all, because I would have got to meet the captain area and, where they sit. And oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. But, I mean, it all, to me, we balanced it well.
We balanced it well. And the app helped.
Yeah.
Because you were able to scroll through the app. They had free massages. They had all kind of things you can try on the ship. Perfume. I got some jewelry. A nice, beautiful necklace. So, which entertainment show did you enjoy most?
For me, it was the karaoke stuff. Just watching y'all, man.
He got a lot of footage.
Yeah, got a ton of footage. Blackmail footage. No, yes, it was good stuff.
It was good stuff. Which entertainment show did I enjoy?
It's Especially the last one. I think that's probably one.
The last one was crazy because it was in the sky bar that I like that has the open top where you can see through the top. And I got to sing with the band.
Yeah, the live band.
The live band.
It went hard.
And when I tell you that band was amazing. So I did Crazy in Love. And a lot of people don't want to tackle Beyonce. So the band was excited. So they came and asked me like, so you know the words? Because we don't have the words. We can play it. But and I was like, yeah, I know the words. And they looked at me like, okay, she said she know the words. And man, when I tell you that band rocked that stage, I felt like I was Beyonce, and I started dancing, knowing I cannot dance and sing. Okay, so I almost passed out. My husband laughing at me.
Well, she did a good job, though. I mean, I know you, so I knew you was out of breath, but
right.
Most people probably wouldn't even know.
But it was crazy because I was just like, the band, you know, like you cannot just stand and sing a song with a band like that. And I went to sit down, and they came up to me. I had done my 2 songs. I did All Night Long, Lionel Richie, and then Beyonce, Crazy in Love. And when I sat down, the night was almost over, and the host runs over to me. This is the second time meeting me, and he goes, "Hey, can you close us out like you did the other night?"
Yeah.
And so I'm like, me? You want me to come out of all these people? So I was flattered, and so I did my favorite song by Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. And they were just, when he knew the song, he just ran over to the band and they got excited. And when the people heard what I was singing, they rushed to the stage. And
on the cool, they was trying to give her a job, y'all.
Yeah, I was auditioning.
And didn't even know it. They was trying to give her a job.
And I sang that song. I felt like Whitney, and those people were just on this. I mean, the audience made you feel like you was a celebrity on Celebrity Silhouette. Like, it was amazing. And the band kept coming telling my husband, like, she's awesome, and they came running to me. I said, no, you're awesome. Like, your background singer was doing her thing.
Yeah, she was cold, yeah.
I loved it. It blew my mind. Like, we're back to the beginning. Like, I really thought I was going to have a boring time on Celebrity Silhouette out of Fort Lauderdale. And I had the best time ever, where I've already started planning our next one. That ship is going to go over to New York for 3 or 4 months and come back to Fort Lauderdale after spring, for the spring and summer. So right now it's in New York. And come about July of this year, it's going to be back. But it's going to be longer dates, okay? So it's going to be 7 days and 8 days, not the 5 days. But it's worth it. Reflection is going to go in their place for the days of the 4 and 5 days. And I've heard that it is just like the Silhouette. What would you do differently next time?
Nothing. I mean, I would just come now knowing what to expect. It's just like with Carnival. Now that you know what to expect, I would go in with the right expectations now.
Yeah.
You know, not just kind of like, which it was fun, it was adventurous, like, okay, let's see what we got here. And I mean, of course, when you get on there, because I think mostly because of the time of the year that we went, I would say 50% of them are older people. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, when I got on, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is really going to be you know, besides the customer service, I was like, okay, yeah, it's going to be a bunch of old people. Mm-hmm. But then the more you get around, you start finding out, no, it's a lot of people your age. Mm-hmm. They come from younger than us, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, and even then, like the couple we met, you know, the first night.
I want to talk about
man,
that.
They were great, man.
They were
from
amazing.
New York, and just we had dinner. We sat right next to them. Probably talking once or twice the whole time, but then it was once we were finished. We actually had this 2-hour conversation. We waited,
till they were closing. Like they were kicking us out. They were kicking us out in a way. That was in the plush specialty dining area, and we absolutely just talked and talked and talked. Gave each other nuggets of advice, and she was actually a therapist. We found out later.
Yeah, she's a therapist. He's an attorney, and just to be able to meet once again. I mean, that would be my advice. I think that was one of the questions was. What would I recommend? Who I would recommend this cruise to? I would recommend it to people that's wanting to reach out and build and converse and meet other people from other nationalities. Yeah. You know, if you're out there looking for your for just your own, you'll find it. But then this is a place where everybody is. Everybody's there. I didn't see anybody there with any hate.
No.
You know, it wasn't that kind of party at all.
No snooty looks. Yeah. No people looking at you funny or like, what you doing here? It was just an open, like I told you, it was like my yacht. And it was just some people.
Everybody's invited.
Right. Everybody's invited to our yacht. That's the way it felt. We met a beautiful couple that had been married, they just got married 9 years ago or something. And they got married on a boat. Remember her? They were so fun. And she was telling you asked her, how do you get married on a boat?
Oh, yeah. That was, what's her name? Liz.
Yeah.
Liz.
No
Liz
names, yeah.
Oh, that was what's called her.
Yeah, she was amazing. Liz is like my manager on the ship.
We just said no names, huh?
Well, no one knows who Liz is. But basically, she made the guy the host for the second or third night who called me up because there was no more room to have anyone sing. But she had heard me sing at another karaoke.
Well, yeah, and I whispered to her, I say, Liz, you need to go up there and tell him to let Jaquay sing. She said, okay, no problem. And she ran over there.
Yeah, and so she ran over there, and the only thing I remember when I went to give her my song, he said, and I did Tina Turner, Rolling on the River. He said, which is Proud Mary, but he said, "Oh, so you the one I heard sounds like Beyonce," and that's the only reason why he let me break the rules.
That meant she had talked you up. Yeah.
Yes. So I told Liz, "You're amazing. You're like now my agent." But anyway, her aunt was on the boat, and they absolutely loved the performances, and Liz could sing too. But what did she tell you about
I thought
their
that was
wedding?
her parents.
No, that's her aunt.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she said oh yeah, we got married on a boat and da 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 da. And you know, I went business wise. I'm like, well, how does that happen? How'd you do that? I'm thinking, okay, you know, did you get your marriage license beforehand? I'm thinking that stuff. She's like, you buy this big old freaking boat. You invite everybody on there. You pay a lot of money, and you get married. What do you think?
And it was amazing. The pictures, she pulled out the pictures, you know, as women, and she had her pictures on deck, baby. They were on this beautiful ship. The backdrop was at night of the city. I think it was Philadelphia or something. I forgot what city. Don't shoot me. But it had everything. It was amazing. Her wedding was amazing. So shout out to Liz and her aunt. Who would you recommend this cruise to? We did that. And lastly, we're done. So I just want to say, first of all, you cannot judge Celebrity Cruise Lines by its cover. You definitely have to experience it for yourself. I will say that most of the people on that ship were seasoned cruisers, and this was the oldest couple that we talked to at the dinner. They were like on their 22nd or 23rd cruise, and they were just on this cruise before they go on their next 20-day cruise or whatever.
They was on it was a 3 cruise tour they were on.
Right. Yeah. And they were just like, oh, well, we're just waiting. We just got off a 2 double, it's called a back-to-back, where the first cruise is 10 days and you can stay in your same cabin and they'll let you stay on for the next route. Well, they had just done that. And this is like their 22nd cruise. And then they were like, oh, well, we didn't want to stay in a hotel to wait on our next one. Mm-hmm. So we just decided to jump on this ship before and wait on the one that's going to be next week. So that's what they did. It was a passing time on the ship we were on. But long story short, she says, I will say this has been the most fun I've had on a celebrity cruise. So it has to be that port, because that does happen, where the port and the people and the staff, you have to follow them too, because the Carnival Breeze is like the #1 ship out of Galveston for party because of the staff and the crew. So if you can follow the staff and crew, they're on there for like 7 months. But sometimes that can make a difference. But most of them were saying that this is the most fun they've had on the ship, on a celebrity ship, as far as entertainment wise.
Yeah, we enjoyed ourselves, definitely.
So, well, thank y'all for this special edition of Fresh Off the Jet, because we did have to take a jet to get to the cruise, so it still matters.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you next time. Thank you for listening. Peace and love.
Peace and love.